And I can see Declan Maher. Dr. Declan Maher is already online. Welcome, Declan. Dr. Maher is the current president of the European Society of Aerospace Medicine. Sorry, Declan, just a brief intermission in Portuguese. Portanto, o Dr. Declan Maher, presidente da ESAM, que é a Sociedade Europeia de Medicina Aerospacial, da qual a Sociedade Portuguesa SMAPOR é membro direto. Portanto, da qual, no fundo, todos nós, membros da SMAPOR, também somos membros. O Dr. Declan vai nos dar um panorama sobre o que faz a sociedade e quais são as prioridades. Declan, thank you again for accepting our invitation. That was very kind, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, Rui. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and greetings from Dublin. I'll just share my screen, if I may. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I was asked to speak on ESAM, one of my areas of interest. So as Rui pointed out, I am a president of ESAM at this time. So my disclosures of conflict of interest: I'm a part-time medical assessor at the Irish Aviation Authority. I'm also an aeromedical examiner. I'm a general practitioner, and I'm a married parent, which I think gives me plenty of ability to deal with conflicts of interest, differences, and diplomacy. ESAM is a large organization which has grown since 2006 to be with 46 member associations at this time, spanning some 34 countries across Europe. We also have 8 associated members. And we consist of a wide variety of people who are involved in aerospace medicine. We have aeromedical examiners, aeromedical centers, we have some military institutes, some research institutes, some governmental bodies, and others. As you can see from this map, our footprint is quite broad. We go everywhere from Iceland in the northwest to Kazakhstan, which is the 13th largest landmass and has a large part of its footprint in Europe. We also include association with the Russian Federation and Turkey. ESAM is the only pan-European society of aerospace medicine. It is independent and an open society. It is run by statutes drawn up by the member associations and the executive committee, is a non-profit organization, and is registered in Germany. It is not a union, nor is it a regulator. Our objectives are to work for the health and safety of all persons involved in aviation and space operations, including passengers. It's pan-European, it's an independent forum for aerospace medicine, and coordinates European aerospace medicine interests in the applicable fora. It bases its decision on expert knowledge, evidence, open discussions within the organization, and is non-profit. ESAM is directed by its elected executive committee, which contains the president, first and vice presidents, secretary general, treasurer, communications director, and director without portfolio. And it has a number of co-opted members who will liaise with the other groups that are external to ESAM. Every member association has a vote, one association, and every association may appoint one member to the advisory board. It's the advisory board that drives what ESAM does. It reports and advises to the executive committee and is managed by its own committee, which is also appointed by the executive committee. And the other organ that ESAM has is the ESAM Academy, which has taken over the responsibility of education and training and is designing courses for basic and advanced AME training in Europe. The advisory board was set up originally as a group of medical experts based on disciplines. Back in 2008, we met in Wiesbaden, some 50 or more experts in different fields. looking at the introduction of the proposed new EU regulations that would then become normal for all of us within Europe. However, in recent years, we've changed that model to develop what is called the Circle of Experts. And in this, we've looked at a number of different areas of interest, such as upper age limits, cardiovascular risk assessment, mental health, air traffic controllers, etc. This is a schematic of how the system works. The expert working groups in the Circle of Experts produce position papers, scientific papers, opinion and information, which is then shared with the association members and indeed ESAM communication channels through the website or presentations at meetings, etc. And we need experts. So if you or friends of yours are interested in becoming a member of the Circle of Experts, please contact us on esam.aero. Why do we need ESAM? Europe, as we know, is a large area with 27 different member states, 4 states in the European Free Trade Association area, with 19 different legal codes. We have differences that fuel debate and discourse, which unveil solutions. So vive la différence. Particularly in our legal systems and philosophies. We have the Anglo-Saxon Code, which is one that directs that you can do anything you like as long as the regulation doesn't stop you. However, the Napoleonic Code, which is by far the most common in Europe, directs you that you can do nothing unless there's a regulation there that allows you to do it. We deal with different groups of people, through pilots, cabin crew engineers, different types of license holders, general aviation, sports aviation, military issues, air traffic controllers, passengers and the general population. We have different disciplines involved in the doctors working on the area. We have regulatory and certificatory medicine, occupational medicine, preventative medicine, travel medicine, human factors medicine, and environmental medicine. And all these have a place in the area of ESAM activities. This is how I see our interrelationship with the other organizations in Europe. ESAM is there to provide scientific advice and opinion, which is then shared with EASA, the European regulatory system, which is also sharing information with the European Aviation Medical Assessors Conference. These are some of the experiences we were to have this year. In ASMA, we would have been in Denver, but unfortunately, due to the COVID impact and the President's proclamation, very few of us were able to travel. But we are still doing our best to be present. At ASMA, at EASA, we are represented on the medical expert group, the Strategic Air Aviation Group, Advisory Group. We're also part of the new EASA Scientific Committee. We're involved in the implementation of the EAMR, and in 3 areas that we look forward to being participants in the mental health of aircrew and ATCO, cardiovascular risk assessment, and the management of insulin-treated diabetic aviation staff. At ICAO, we have members in specialist working groups, including mental health, drugs and alcohol, human factors, medical certification, colouration, and CAPSCA. CAPSCA is an interaction between ICAO and the World Health Organization as an acronym for, wait for it, the Collaborative Arrangement for the Prevention and Management of Public Health Events in Civil Aviation. At ASMA, we have a memorandum of understanding to run ECAMs together, European Conferences of Aerospace Medicine. We have a traditional lunchtime meeting on the Wednesday of the international meeting for 2 hours, where we give the issues that seem to be relevant in Europe and airing to people that wouldn't normally get to hear us in Europe. We have representation at the strategic levels within ASMA. We've had Vice President and President of ASMA, Nominations Committee, presence on the Council, and also on the Global Liaison Overseas Committee. These are examples of some of our lunchtime meetings and our particular slant on things. As you can see, there's an element almost of a reference on occasion. At ICASM, the International Conference for the Academy of Aerospace Medicine, we have representation through membership, and we also have developed panels at both the 2017 and 2019 panels. We were also present at the first International Congress in Russia, dealing with 250 delegates from across the Russian Federation, represented by the Interstate Aviation Committee. 7 of us from Europe were privileged to be able to present on the European model of aerospace medicine to them. Next year, deferred from 2020, is the big one. We're doing the first International Conference of Aerospace Medicine in collaboration with ASMA, the International Academy, and SOFRAMAS of France. That's where we are at the moment. That's where we come from in terms of our sharing of the European conferences on aerospace medicine. We've been involved in webinars over the year where we couldn't carry out an actual in-person conference. So we've done them in collaboration with the Academy, running along with ASMA and SOFRAMAS. We're part of the EPSI protocol, the European Pilot Peer Support Initiative. And we have been involved in developing a joint statement on the mental well-being of personnel impacted by COVID-19. So this is where I see our vision in the future. We have a small group of people that we do listen to and speak to, and my hope is that we will get involved in speaking to other groups around the world and together form a collaboration where each of us can hear each other's voices. Thank you again for your attention. Back to you, Ruby.
Thank you very much, Declan, for an absolutely brilliant overview of what, and synthetic overview of what ESAM is all about. And I'm sure that the members of the Portuguese Society now have an even clearer vision of why it is relevant for SMAPOR to be part of this greater fold that is ESAM. And we do have members that are, of course, majoritarily from Portugal, but also members from other Portuguese-speaking countries, namely Brazil and São Tomé and Príncipe. So I'm sure they all enjoyed your presentation, and I hope to see you soon here in Portugal in the near future in person. Thank you very much, Declan.